Former US President and 2024 presidential candidate Donald Trump's campaign has accused British Prime Minister Keir Starmer's Labour Party of blatant foreign interference in the US presidential election after its volunteers travelled to the United States to help campaign for Kamala Harris. The campaign has filed a complaint with the Federal Election Commission in Washington, D.C., calling for an immediate investigation into what it called apparent illegal foreign national contributions made by the Labour Party of the United Kingdom and accepted by Harris for president. UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer, travelling on a flight to Samoa, told reporters he did not expect the complaint to strain relations with Trump if he wins the election on the 5th of November, adding that Labour volunteers had gone to pretty much every US election. Now, weeks ahead of the US elections, presidential candidates Kamala Harris and Donald Trump and their campaigns are in the last leg. Harris unveiled her economic proposals, emphasizing the need for funding small businesses, and Trump held a rally in North Carolina. Here are the key highlights of the campaign trail that has been undertaken by the two leaders.
Campaigning in the United States is at its peak. All eyes are on the presidential election scheduled on November 5. With even less than 2 weeks to go, US presidential candidates Donald Trump and Kamala Harris are going loud and clear on their poll promises. With economy to social reform to healthcare, all are covered. During an interview with NBC, Vice President and Democratic presidential candidate Kamala Harris said she would work to bring more funds to community banks to help Latino men secure small business loans.
Absolutely. And I am saying that in terms of every walk of life of our country. You know, I think part of what is important in this election is really not only turning the page, but closing the page and the chapter on an era that suggests that Americans are divided.
Taking a dig at opponent Kamala Harris, former US President Donald Trump called her a low IQ individual while addressing a gathering in North Carolina on Tuesday.
With 4 more years of Kamala Harris, North Carolina will be an economic wasteland. That's what's going to happen. The rest of your companies are going to move out. Everybody knows that. The smart people know. She's the only one that doesn't know it. Low IQ. She's a low IQ individual.
Backing Harris, former US President Barack Obama drew cheers from supporters at a rally in Madison. Obama is among the 18 million Americans who voted early in 2024 presidential election. Harris is the first black woman and South Asian to be selected as the presidential nominee for a major US political party.
My point is, you'd be worried if Grandpa was acting like this. Right? You'd call up your brother, you'd call up your cousins, you say, have you noticed? But this is coming from somebody who wants unchecked power. So, Wisconsin, we do not need to see what an older, loonier Donald Trump looks like with no guardrails. America's ready to turn the page. We are ready for a better story, Wisconsin. We are ready for a President Kamala Harris.
Latest Ipsos poll shows Harris leading marginally by 46% to 43% over former President Donald Trump, with a tight contest between candidates. Every vote matters. Bureau Report, DD India.
And DD India's correspondent Anupal Singh is joining us live from Austin, Texas. Hi, Amrit. Clearly the focus of the two campaigns remains on the battleground and swing states, but are the two sides also doing some micro-targeting of key chunks of voters? In recent days, we've seen different demographics in the mix, ranging from blacks to Latinos for both sides.
That's right, Gautam. Both sides are targeting groups like black voters, Arab voters, Indian Americans, Latinos. You see, yesterday both Kamala Harris and Donald Trump reached out to Latino voters because their vote is crucial. Kamala Harris trying to present herself as the first the next female president of the United States, trying to woo women voters across the divide. She's trying to voters who traditionally vote for the Republicans, saying that as a woman, I understand your concerns. She's going to be here in Texas on Friday, which is a red state, which traditionally has for the past 55 years voted for the Republicans, saying that about how abortion bans affect your health, how it affects your family, how it affects your mental well-being. So both candidates are doing targeted campaigning, looking at groups from where they can get voters, because it's such a tight race, such a close race that, as Wall said yesterday, when we vote, we win. So they're trying to get every voter out, not just their own supporter base, but also the base of the other party, which are voters who have traditionally voted for other parties. Ratan?
Right, and you're in Austin, Texas, not too far from the Mexican border, so I have to ask you about the issue of illegal immigration that, well, Donald Trump has been making a lot out of. It is indeed an issue, and Harris has also acknowledged that, but what do Texans themselves feel about it?
Well, it's interesting because this is a state which borders Mexico, and when illegal crossing points along the border, when they cross over illegal immigrants, it does affect the economy. Their jobs are going. So that's why we see, though the Democrats have traditionally been pro-migrants, but here Kamala Harris visited the wall and is treading soft on the issue, because it is really affecting jobs in the United States. Donald Trump is going all out, vilifying migrants, calling them that they're eating our dogs and cats, calling them murderers and rapists. We know the kind of rhetoric that he's spewing, almost bordering on venom. But Kamala Harris is too treading softly on the matter, because it is an issue with people here. For Texans, it indeed is an issue. But let me tell you something very interesting. I moved out into the countryside, and I was talking to a farmer, a typical red voter, a Republican voter. His family, he said, for generations have been voting for Republicans. So while I was walking on his farms, I saw some Mexicans, Latinos working on his farms, picking peaches and plums. And I asked them, oh, are they illegal migrants? Off camera, he agreed. And I said, I'm sure you're not paying them minimum wages, so they're working illegally. He said, yes, they are. And so I said, so the migrants work well for you? He said, yeah, but still, they are eating up on our economy. So these kind of contradictions, ironies do exist here, but it is being a red state. The Texans believe that, the walls should be raised higher, and a complete stop on crossing over illegally into U.S. Should be enforced. And that's why what Trump says cuts ice with them, Gautam.
I thought it was an established debate that migrants, no matter what kind they are, they do add value to the American economy. But since it's election season, everything remains up for debate till voting day. Thanks a lot for joining us for the moment. I'm Prasar Bharati.